What is going on, Go Squad? Welcome to Tactical Tuesday. Today is December the 5th, 2017. My head is out of it. What's going on out there? We are live on YouTube and simulcasting over on GunChannels.com. And guys, if you are not aware of it, I'm sure most of you are. I'm going to go ahead and put a link into Ghost Channels. It's a great community. What is going on? Pro gun and hello. I'm echoing. I don't like hearing my voice normally, much less than an echo. No, but Gun Channels is a great place, guys. If you like guns and the Second Amendment, it's a great community over there where you're going to be surrounded by like-minded people. A lot of your content creators that you watch throughout the week are all over on Gun Channels. The beautiful thing with the Gun Channels is they've got the 24/7 lobby going on at all times where you can jump in and talk guns or whatever. And yes, we are humans, so we don't just talk guns. No one can talk guns 24/7, but we try to keep it somewhat on point most of the time, but they can get pretty fun. So come on over and check out Gun Channels. Did I say Ghost Channels? I don't remember saying Ghost Channels, but Gun Channels. Gun Channels. Speaking of which, let's go check out who we got. We got Jim Burgess, Moon Food. Moon, I got you a link over there if you want to, bud. Knives and Scott. We've got a nice little house over on the YouTube side. Guys, on the YouTube side, if you're new to the show or whatever, we cannot see you unless you comment. So go ahead and say what's up in the comments and in the chat and let us know you're here, where you are, and all that jazz. We got Grim90. Patriot, man, they've been here for a while, apparently. Patriot and Grim. Let's see. Yeah, you guys are going back and forth there for a while. Holy cow. Roll calls out there. Phoenix. Budget Guns and Gear. What's going on, man? Roll call. RL. What's up, RL? 2 Live Moo. Love that name. Demont. Roosted. What's up, Roosted? And Dano. He just says comment. Well, I guess he follows directions well, doesn't he? We are going to have, we've got several people that will be joining us. I know they're going to be a little bit late. And we do have, and I've been wanting to do this show for a while, so it actually works out perfectly. The Ghost and Grim show, the Ghost Reaper. Grim90 is in the house. What's going on, man?
How's it going, everybody?
Yeah, I thought this would be kind of a cool show. I mean, I just think that, you've got the two angels and you got the angel of death and then what you become once you die as a ghost. So I think that's a kind of a cool concept. I think we might be able to do something with this.
I like the tag team wrestling.
That's right. Jelsma, what's up, my man? Wubba lubba dub dub. Yeah, Scott Pacini's in the house. Okay, there you go. Better late than never. Jim, what's up? Howdy, Jim. Let's see here. Did I miss somebody coming in? I don't know. AWAG, what's up, AWAG? Welcome to the show. All right, guys, like I said, we talked a little bit about Gun Channels, and I want to talk about Gun Channels all I can. It's a great place, like I said. The cool thing is, like I said, the lobby chat's awesome, but if you ever have any questions about guns or maintenance or, we've got guys that collect, 1800s guns all the way up to, modern, assault rifles and all of that. If you have a question on anything that's gun related, I promise you can probably find an answer on Gun Channels. So it's a great place to hang out. A lot of great minds over there. So I love Gun Channels. It's a great place to kind of hang out. Like I said, you're going to hang out with your own people. So if you haven't checked this out, please come and do so. Let's see here. What you got going on right now, Grim? Hanging with the kids?
Too much. Yeah, I was with them. Well, you guys were all with those Christmas movies that weren't Christmas movies. I don't know what that was about.
Well, you know, Ellis. I like Ellis's show. It's a little bit different. He kind of goes off into some different areas, and it's all good. But let's see. Phoenix says what? Oh, okay. Let me go start here. Scott says since VidMe is shutting down, I decided to start a YouTube channel. There you go. Let's see here. AWAG, yo, Phoenix says you can't. Go says you can't talk guns 24/7. I say challenge accepted. Absolutely, go for it, my man. Wow. Let's see here. I love talking guns, but 24/7. I don't think that's possible. Is it, Grim?
I don't know. And I see who was it? RL is already Die Hard is a damn Christmas movie.
Yeah, you know.
I don't
We'll
know.
get into that here in a minute. Wow. Roosted says, how can you get my YouTube videos over to GunChannels? Roosted, are you on GunChannels yet? If the answer is no, then that's a whole different conversation. If the answer is yes, then I can help you with that. Most definitely. It's not that hard. But yeah, we can work on that. No doubt. Jim Burgess says he's going to print up some of those .torture pages. Yeah, I printed that out on an 8.5 by 11, just a normal piece of paper. Yeah. And we'll talk about that as well, because we're going to talk the drill of the month here in a little while as well, which is this month I think is pretty awesome. You know, I wanted to announce last month's drill of the month winner, but we didn't have any responses sent. I had 0 last month. I had about 12 people email me saying, hey, I'm getting ready to shoot my drill of the month, and I never got any. So I don't know if that was up with my email or you guys just didn't want to shoot the drill. That's fine. But we did not have any video responses last month. But I think this month is a .torture test. And if you guys are not familiar with it, I love the .torture test. It's typically a 50-round test and drill, but it really does encompass all of the aspects of shooting your pistol. So it's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and put out the in the chat this month's drill of the month link. I'll do that on the Ghost Channel side as well. So if you guys want to check that out. Scott over there says, what's up? Pants, what's up? And Scott says, it's not a Christmas without Die Hard. And man, I just, you know, I can't buy into it. John says that the chat box is not working on the Gun Channel side. I'm seeing some chat stuff going on over there. And are you on the Gun Channel side, John? Because I'm trying to send you. I don't see you on the gun, even logged in on the Gun Channel side. Because I was going to send you a link, but I don't even see you over there. You might, honestly, you might be logged out. You might have to log back in, John. Sometimes it logs you out without you even knowing it. So you might have to go up to the top and sign in, because I don't even show you up on the Gun Channel side at all, even being logged in. Let's see here. Attention span. Phoenix. Grim. All right, so RL says, yeah, I've got no excuse now. He's going to shoot the 50-rounder now anyways. Yeah, it's usually a 50-round test. Just for the drill of the month, I went ahead and scale it down to a 20-round test, shoot it from 10 feet away. The reason why I did this one is I actually had some people talk about being up north where it's kind of cold, and they might not be able to get to the range when it's cold or snowing. So I'm trying to do drills throughout the winter months that can be done in an indoor range, if that helps you guys out at all. Travis, what's going on, man? Travis P11 is in the hizzy. Let's see. I am still not seeing John Z over there.
Yeah, John said he was logged out, so log in, John.
That's probably that's why the chat box isn't working. First of all, that's all I'm going to say. You know, goodness gracious. Travis P11, Big Racer, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Let's see here. Yeah, and I don't know why sometimes DF2, what's up? But sometimes and sometimes GunChannel just has to do like it's doing an update and all that, and it'll log everybody out. It's just one of those things. If something's not working, just make sure that that you're signed in, because sometimes it will sign you out if it's doing an update. So go ahead and try that. The 20 rounds, the Big Ray said the 20 rounds is good. Yeah, it's one of those things where, I mean, not everyone has time to go out and get 50 rounds, and not everyone's got 50 rounds laying around. Maybe you've got 20. So if you can come up with 20 rounds, then you can get this one done 10 feet away. So yeah, it's a great drill, and like I said, more importantly, this is one of those things that's going to help you be proficient with your firearm, because it does strong hand only, it does weak hand only, it works with a draw, it works with multiple targets, it works with reloads. So you know, you're going to find out maybe where you're not so good at, and that's a good thing, because we all want to be proficient at all the things. So that's a really good one. What did Patriot say? Good idea. BB gun in the basement. Yeah, I mean, if you can't get to it, I mean, you know, you can dry fire for all I care. You know, as long as you're working on your skill and getting better at it and all that, that's really all that matters. John, there you go. He says he's logged in now. You'd think I was a Marine. That's funny. Gotta love it. Let me get you that link, bro. Yeah, let me get you that link real quick. Like, all right, John Z is in the hizzy. Why?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're logged in, John?
John, I'm on that New York internet.
I'm not convinced that you are. Just saying. Just not letting me send you a message. So send me a message, a private message over on GunChannels, and I'll get you the link that'll prove that you're logged on. So Roos has said that he shot the drill inside today with his airsoft pistol. There you go. I mean, that's like I said, be creative. You know, that's what I'm all about. Is like I said, I don't care about the quality of video. I don't care about it being at a fancy range and all that. Just that the whole purpose of the drill of the month was to get out, shoot, get better at your craft, be more proficient, be more confident. And that's really the whole idea. So if you've got to do it in the house with the airsoft or be, you know, whatever it is, man, just get out and practice. So that's the biggest thing. Let's see here.
Yeah, AWAG brought up he wants to see you use a bolt gun in the drills.
Oh, yeah, I could do that. The only reason, well, I tell you what I could probably do is I can just do that as a separate one. The only reason why I wouldn't do that as a drill of the month is not everybody's got a bolt action rifle. That being said, I can definitely do a drill with my rifle and not be the drill of the month, but I'll definitely do that. Yeah, I could do that for sure. And AWAG, can you, oh, that's the bolt drill. Never mind. Scott says, fuck the NRA. I have a tend to agree with that for most of the time. Let's see here. AWAG, put a red dot on it on my bolt action. Probably not. You know, I don't know. Let's see here. Patriot says that he orders some of those rubber band guns G was talking about, the Bandit pistol. That's pretty funny.
Use that for your drill of the month, Patriot.
Right. Let's see here.
Can I make a
and hey, what's up, Mid Tennessee Outdoors? He said that airsoft guns do work when you can't get to the range. Absolutely. And Scott says, especially if you can find an actual airsoft gun that is identical. And there's so many of these airsoft guns that are identical that it's really good practice. So dry fire at the range. I dry fire all the time. I'll sit there, be watching TV, and I'll be dry firing. Just you know, I'm a big dry fire kind of a guy. So Travis P says I should run it with my Ruger Ranch with 20 round mag. That would be interesting to see. I would actually like to see that video. So I absolutely agree. I think you should do the dot torture test with that. I wouldn't mind seeing that with the rifle. I don't know how some of it would work, but yeah, I like to see that.
Hey guys,
what's up? Hey, what's up, John? How you doing, bud?
All right. Can I just make a one quick suggestion? For
Sure.
anybody who wants a dry fire, there's always have the blue guns, and you could always practice your dry firing with that as well as uh, removing and replacing your firearm in your holster, whatever holster that may be, as drawing, as well as they also have Glock versions of the air rifles that they have working slides. So you don't
Oh,
even have to
really?
use that at the range. Yeah, you could like use it in your house, hang a couple of targets off a piece of wire, some steel or some paper, and shoot that in the house. You could, if you have a garage, better, but they have a working Glock version of an air rifle. The safety works, the slide works, the magazine loads up with the BBs. It's really cool.
Yeah. I don't have a whole lot of experience with them. But a lot of people swear by them. And like I said, as far as being a different, same size and replicas of kind of your normal firearm, if that's something that will help you with the draw and grip and all of that without having to actually fire, if you can't get to the range and all that, like I said, it's all about being more proficient with the firearm, and it doesn't necessarily have to be your exact firearm. Just getting used to your grip, your breathing, your trigger pulls, all that stuff is so important that most people forget about. And that's what I like about the dot torture test. It's not a speed test. It's take your time and work on accuracy and all that. And if you're not doing things properly, you're going to find out. And that's not a bad thing, is finding out that you need work on your marksmanship. It's always a good thing, because no one's ever going to be perfect,
Absolutely.
Mel the Nut is in the hizzy. Yeah, let's go through the room real quick. And I do want to say hi to some patrons of mine. We had a good chat on Sunday. But I got some patrons out there that I want to say hello to. Mel the Nut is obviously out there. Phoenix is out there. RL Sewer, the Pants, 2 Live Mood, Grim's in here, Gelsma, Patriot in the Dark's out there. I've got others, but those are the ones that I've seen in here. Thank you so much for everything that you are doing for the channel. It's much appreciated. As you guys know, if you have any suggestions, let me know. Came away from the chat on Sunday with some awesome ideas and things that people wanted to see. So I'm really stoked about getting some of those videos done. So that was pretty awesome. Guys, this part of that show that if you're interested or not, but if you are interested and you want to support the channel, we love to have you. I'll go ahead and put that. What about a bow? A bow?
A bow?
Okay, or even a curtsy? Or is that a bow? I don't know if that's a bow or a bow. If you want me to bow or
Bow
not.
wow? You want them dark?
Bow wow?
Bow wow.
Oh boy, you gotta love it.
You're too much.
Yeah. A bow. I honestly, I'm not very good with a bow at all. That's something that I've kind of wanted to get better at. A buddy of mine owns a archery range down the road. I could do a torture test with a bow, but I promise you, it would be pure torture, because I don't think I would hit the target at all, much less a dot torture target. But yeah, that might be something. What's that?
Give the target a fist bump before you start tossing the bows at them.
Yeah, maybe that'll give me some karma. I don't know.
Absolutely.
But no, I really don't. I don't. Oh, I didn't see that. Mel, who's got 2 thumbs up for a new job offer? Good job, man. Congrats. I hope it was a good one, and I hope that the family's A-okay with it. AWAG says he plays airsoft with the AK-74S. And it's a great training tool for his real AK. Yeah, I like I said, a lot of these things are, they're really good replicas, Melda says that torture fills swears jars. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Crossbow. What's up, Tardot? How you doing, bro? live fire a bow in the house. Yeah. Philo, what's going on? Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. Especially with me. Like I said, I can't I've literally shot a bow maybe 10 times in my life. So yeah. The only thing I'll be doing with a bow is literally dry firing it because what's that?
Just make sure there's no glass or any humans around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but my wife would still kill me with putting holes all over the, with me, I'm telling you guys, there's no telling where the arrow's going to go. I mean, it could go up, it could go down. With me, it'll come back and hit. Yeah, there's no telling. There's no telling.
Yeah, I could definitely see you shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah. That'd be kind of hard to do, but I mean, with me, anything's possible. You never know. Just Dano says, Trey, do you have a light on your home defense gun? And if so, what brand? I do not have a light, but actually I keep these lights all over the place.
Well, Ghost has the secret when he's at home. For Dano.
I do?
Yeah. You want me to tell them what it is?
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Because I like to know my secret also.
You keep your eyes open.
I do keep my eyes open. Yeah. No, I do not. I do not have any. Well, I shouldn't say that. For guns that are specifically for home defense, I do not have lights on them. I carry I have about 7 or 8 little LED flashlights that are about yay long that I'll carry around, and it's for another reason. It's not that I have anything against lights on guns. I'm just not a big. I just don't like it. I'd rather have it handheld because there's going to be a lot of times where if that light is fixed, the last thing I want to do is have to move my muzzle in a direction to see what's going on. I want to keep my muzzle pointed exactly down range, and I can use my weak hand or something with my light to move around and see what's around. But I want to keep my muzzle in a fixed position. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys or not.
Oh, totally. For some people, the house lights, they're already set at a balance, whether they're night lights or whatever. So they're going to be low. So your eyes don't have any adjusting they need to do.
Right.
Sometimes when you use a flashlight, the light can bounce back if you can't see where you're pointing the light on, and you could have some readjusting to do over there. So I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. Phoenix is $100. Mrs. Ghost kills his ass. She would kill my ass if I live fired a bow in the house for damn sure.
$5. Make it 50. Come on.
John says he's in if you drop the price a little bit. He wants some good odds here.
Yeah.
What's the payout?
Right. What kind of odds you giving them?
Come on,
really good.
10 to 1.
Because I can make that happen. If I get a cut of it, whatever outcome is going to benefit me the most, I can make that happen. She kills me, then my wife's set up.
Whatever's left of you
for the right price. Man. That's right. My wife will be set up, and it's got to make it worth my while here. Mel says he likes the weight as a counterweight on his P320. Yeah, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not against having lights attached to the guns at all. For me, it's just something that I never really liked a whole lot. But I can understand there's a lot of really good reasons to have lights on there. As a counterweight, it is easier to where you don't have to worry about a second hand being used if you want to use that for something else. I understand that 100%. I'm just saying that my personal thing is I don't like it. So that's just me.
That's a personal
Alan,
thing.
the real, what's that? Yeah, it is a personal thing.
I don't like them either.
Opening the doors and all that. But see, I have to understand one thing also is there's 2 different scenarios of a home defense situation. Is the first scenario is if someone breaks in your house and you have loved ones in another room that you've got to try to get to. Here's my thing on that, and I actually did a couple drills on this. Chances are my eyes being at nighttime are going to be adjusted to the dark. So the last thing I want to do is actually turn on a light. I know that may make no sense at all for somebody. But I'm going to assume that they're coming in from a car or somewhere else where their eyes probably haven't adjusted to the pitch black yet. My eyes are going to be pretty well adjusted to darkness. So the last thing I want to do is turn on lights or a flashlight to give my position away. If I'm going to have to go into a living room, to another bedroom where a loved one is, my daughter or whatever, I want every advantage I can have. So I'm not probably going to use that light anyways. That's just me. Now the second scenario is everyone, if it's just me and my wife in the house, which is most of the time, and someone breaks in the house, I'm not going to open that door anyways. You know, I'm going to get my wife to a safe position. I'm going to call 911 like I'm supposed to do, and I'm going to bunker down in a safe location. And if someone else comes through that door, I'm firing anyway, so I don't need to worry about my offhand being available to open a door. I'm probably not going to open that door if we're both in the same room. That's just me. Like I said, I'm not saying you're wrong by any means. That's just my personal preference. What do you guys, I mean, you know, coming in like Batman? Yeah, right.
I don't know. I have to agree, because the way my hallway is, as soon as I exit my door to face down the hallway, all the kids' rooms are behind me.
Right.
So like you said, I'm not really looking, you know, I'm just down the hallway. Anything comes up the hallway.
Yep.
Well, like you said, you're firing. And then I do have at the end of the hallway, you know, those LEDs you get out of the computers or the machines. You know what I'm talking about. I have one of those set up.
Yeah.
That actually just barely lights the hallway. Well, I mean, barely. If you wake up in the middle of the night, it looks pretty bright.
Yeah.
Now, during the day or in the evening, like now, if I turned off all the lights, I wouldn't even notice that little LED is on.
Yeah.
So like you said, to me, it just go out my door so the kids are to my back. So if I'm firing that way, there's nothing except for hitting my truck and my other car that are on the other side of the house. You know, so I don't have another barrier.
Your house layout is to the fact that there's no outside entry except maybe through a window or something, but there is no outside entry or entry from another room to your kids' room except through that hallway. Is that correct?
Except through the hallway. They have to come down the hallway, and
Perfect.
The way the house is, it's like a story and a half. Do you know what I mean? You have about a 9 foot to get to any of the windows to our rooms. You know, and that was on purpose, partially on purpose, why I picked the house. You know, I'm like, oh, I like that. If I'm firing through, for those that say over penetration, I'm going to have to hit both of my cars and whatever else is down that
hall. And that's okay.
You know what I mean?
In the grand scheme of things, that's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the worst thing that happens, you know?
At that point, it is what it is.
Let me ask you guys this. In your house, in apartment or whatever, you know, wherever you guys live, do you have those little, maybe like night lights or whatever, like you kind of those little small, and that's probably what you're talking about also, but do you have like little night lights that you'll put out in the living room or something, just again into the wall? It's really a small light, but it's enough to kind of see a little bit. Do you guys use any of those at all, or do you like it pitch black out there?
Well,
Jelsma, are you out of here? If Jelsma's out of here, peace, brother.
Oop. Later, Jelsma. Yeah, he's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I have these little lime lights. And they are basically, you know how you have the LED paper? Not the LED, but the actual diode in the inside? Yeah. They barely glow. It's not even like one of the diodes on the computer or anything. It actually gives you a soft, kind of, it's hard to explain, but if you look up limelight, it looks like a plug on the back, and it's flat, maybe 2 inches by 2 inches, square, and it barely gives you a glow. But when you get up in the middle of the night, because my wife was like, oh, I can't see anything with that. Okay, you get up in the middle of the night, and you're like, oh, I can see enough without having to squint. You know, you can see everything in the layout. I do use those throughout the house and in the basement. But if you're walking in, like you said, they're not going to see that, you know, they won't be adjusted.
So like I was mentioning before with like your eyes having to get adjusted to it, those are the lights, those are exact same lights that I have. And since green is much more easy to see at night without somebody else seeing you. Like Grim was just mentioning, other people won't see it right away. And it's just enough light for you not to stub your toe on this or that.
Yep,
I love those
exactly.
lights. I have them in
Yeah,
all
I
the
mean,
series.
and the use of these lights, if you choose to use them, some people like it being pitch black, and it's just like Mid Tennessee Outdoors mentioned earlier. We know the layout of our house better than anybody, so we already have an advantage if there's an intruder. But having those little lights, and some of them have them for their dog, or if they have people staying there, their kids, they want to get up at nights. They're not, like you said, stubbing their toes on the furniture or whatever. But those put out enough light, and it's kind of like what Grim was saying. They put out enough light that will light up a certain area of the room, but it's not going to light up the whole room to where you still would have an advantage over somebody. It will kind of help. Some people like those. Some people like them pitch black. I personally like it pitch black. But those lights can come in useful, especially if you're worried about, before you start firing, being able to identify somebody. Now, obviously, if you're the only ones in there, or in Grim's situation where his kids' rooms are behind him, so he knows anyone coming down the other side of the hall is probably, not very good, and they're there for the wrong reason. You don't really have to identify them a whole lot because they're in your house. They're already criminals. They've already broken the law. So, but those lights, if some people like them, they would they do come in handy sometimes. Let's see here. All right, so go ahead.
I'm sorry. One more thing. If you are going to go with a light, I would go with a very light light to put on your firearm. So I'd probably go with an Enforce. There's no weight to the thing.
Yeah, you don't want. I mean, there are some people that are going to sit there and say, "Well, if I blind them with my light, then they're already in a disadvantage."
Right. You just have to have enough light just to see for that second that you're popping.
That's right. That's right. And see that's like I said, some people love them, somebody live by them. I just don't like. They're more of a hassle than anything. That's just me. I will say this. Well, I won't say that because that's going to go down a rabbit hole. That I do want to talk about a few things tonight, and one of them is HR38, the National Reciprocity Bill, that is due to hit the floor for a vote tomorrow. So, as you probably have heard, that they combined the fixed NICS with HR38. They had a couple here. I don't want to say hearings. It was brought up today on the floor, trying to separate them into two separate bills. Again, that got canceled and all that. But HR38 is going to the floor tomorrow. And as it stands right now, HR38 will include the fixed NICS if it is passed. Now, I've already kind of done a video and spoken my piece about what fixed NICS is to me. I want to hear from you guys out there in the room and in the chat. And not everyone's for HR38. There are a lot of people that don't want the government involved in anything that has to do with the guns. And there is an argument out there that says if you allow the federal government to get involved with concealed carry nationwide, then that means that they could eventually take it away. And I understand that argument. So I want to kind of get everyone's idea out there is, let's not even talk the fixed NICS right now. We'll talk about that in a second. But the HR38 as its own thing, the national reciprocity, where do you guys, I mean, and like I said, you can be for or against it. It doesn't bother me a bit. But where do you guys stand on HR38? I want to hear from Grim and John, but also you guys out in the chat on the gun channels and YouTube side. Ted, what's going on? Sorry about that. But yeah, so Grim, have you been keeping with HR38? And if so, what are your initial thoughts of the bill?
Yeah, I'm kind of mixed on it, but I still think it would at least make you more comfortable traveling from state to state. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without having to worry, without having to worry about, like now, I have my current state. I have Florida, just so I can travel from, the Midwest up here all the way to Florida and back without, having to really screw around and, look too many things up. This I think would just make it a little easier. But yeah, I agree, not having the government, but it's more of just that they honor it. So,
right.
I don't know.
Right. No, I understand it. It's definitely it's an interesting bill that not everyone that's pro-gun likes it. John, what do you think? And I know it's a little bit different being in New York, but it's in generalities. How do you feel about it?
As a pro-gun legislation, I support it. But then you have those iffy things where the government gets involved, and when the government gets involved, it's never good. We've seen too many times how many times the government F things up. And although there are good pieces to HR38, it's yeah, I'm for and against it. But as far as pro-gun legislation goes, I'm for it.
Yeah, Dilettante, what's going on, man? You're for it here in Nevada, and it would be nice to be able to carry a gun in California. Now, I want to know those against splitting the bills. Yeah, I'd like to see who is against splitting the bills. I want to know if it went down party lines or not. But as far as the fixed NICS, and this is kind of, I'm going to go off on a soapbox for just a minute here. And this is one of the things that the fixed NICS does not scare me. Okay. The NICS system is already on the books. The fixed NICS is not creating a new system. It's not creating a new background check and all that. It's not creating anything new. It's supposed to fix a broken system that shouldn't be on the books to begin with, but it is. It's supposed to fix it to where these different organizations have to report a certain amount of times a year and do all that to make sure that everyone who's not supposed to be. Now, do I think that the NICS should be in there to begin with? Hell no. Because we all know that eventually this could lead to getting a speeding ticket, get you on the list for all, I'm just, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I mean, we all know with the government getting involved, there's no telling. What I will say about this is if there's no way to get either HR38 or Share Act passed without the fixed NICS attachment and amendment, then I'm okay with it. And here's why. And you're going to sit there and say, well, you are anti-gun. I'm not anti-gun. I think anyone that knows me knows that I'm not anti-gun. But what I will say is this. The two things that the fixed NICS are going to try to do with is two. One, they added an amendment to it to do a study on bump fire stocks. The study is going to be how many times has bump fire stocks been used in mass shootings? We already know the answer to that, guys. Okay. We already know the answer. The answer is possibly one. Possibly, because we're still not sure if a bump fire stock was used in Vegas or not. Everyone assumes that it was, but we have not been given the details officially that a bump fire stock was used in Vegas. If it in fact was, that's the only one. So they're going to do a study. Now, the studies are going to cost money. That's the sucky thing about it. It's going to cost money to do these studies. But the study's going to show that the bump fire stock is not responsible for these massive number of shootings and killings. So it's what it is. Let them do that, because we already know the answer. And down the road, that study could actually help us out in the long run. The second thing that they're going to try to do is, oh shit, I just lost my train of thought. Bump fire stocks. And there was something else they're going to try to do with this.
Create the list
the
of
NICS,
people
you mean?
who.
Yeah. Well, the amendments they added to it.
They want it's a Brady Bill extension, and they want to add the ability to make lists of people.
That's right.
PSD, people who are retired, people who have medical marijuana cards. It's a very dangerous addition.
Yeah. Well, and you have to understand that Jim says the study will show whatever the feds want it to show. There's to a certain extent that is going to be true. The problem you're going to look at is this. If it's going to try to use the bump fire stock to be a stepping stone into banning more items, then let them do this test. Because the way they explain the test, and if it's written in the bill a certain way, which I'll look at exactly how it's written in the amendment and all that, then it has to be a thing that shows that bump fire stocks are used for mass shootings. We all know that they're not. So let them do that test. And what I'm saying to you guys is this. If I have to eat the fixed NICS to get share or to get HR38, I'm personally going to be okay with that. So I see there's a lively discussion out here. So let's kind of, what do you guys think about that? If you have to eat NICS, is HR38 or share worth it? If they don't attach it to HR30, they're going to try to attach it to share. Is it worth it?
No. Well, the thing I have with the NICS is, you know, basically this is more accountability for those government agencies, you know, whoever it may be. And if they're going to be putting that pressure on them, we all know how it works in the business world. They're going to put together things in the last minute, throw names on there, get your name off again compared to before. You know what I mean? Because I was looking at what Jim was saying earlier there. He had mentioned something, and now I lost it in the chat here. But I mean,
you come on to consider this: throwing a bunch of money at agencies and local state government will absolutely drive bad behavior up in the false positive rate. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, kind of that. I mean, they're gonna, you know, whether it's an honest error or just, you know, the guy behind the desk who's getting paid whatever. Yeah, these guys are flagged. Yeah, it might be a speeding ticket. They don't care. They're just, okay, here's names. Look, I did some work.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's where it starts to become that problem. I don't know if it would
be
that, but I'm just saying when it comes to that accountability piece, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I hear you. We've got some really good. Said they can also study fire rates and use to hammer and device that increases fire rate. Psycho Camp says that. I mean, you know, if you're going to be talking about the fixed NICS is not going to be doing this. If you're going to talk about another bill that's out there to ban bump fire stocks and anything that increases the rate of fire, then that is absolutely anti-gun legislation. Okay. And I might be out here on an island on myself, and that's okay. When I'm saying the fixed NICS is not a worry to me, okay, I'm not saying that I like it. I'm not saying I'm supporting it. I'm saying if we can split them, then let's definitely vote fixed NICS down. But if we have to eat fixed NICS to get some of this pro-gun legislation, I'm okay with that, because here's the thing. NICS is already on the books. The only thing that the NICS list is going to hurt are people that are going to do stupid things and get themselves on that list. They're not going to do that for speeding tickets and all that. Let's be honest. It's going to be for violent crimes, felonies, and all this stuff. If you're going to have your name in those situations to begin with, then that's on you. I'm not worried about the NICS list because I don't plan on doing anything that's going to get my name on that list. Once again, if we can split them, then I'm great with that. Let's vote NICS down. Let's take HR38 and push it through. But if I have to eat this, what I'm saying is for me alone, it might be worth it to get some actual pro-gun legislation pushed through. That's just me. Let's see what else is everybody saying.
Psycho Real Allen good one there. Oh, yeah, the Real Allen Pro.
Oh, you saw what he said about the HRAs, just no fix either?
Yeah, he said basically it says the carry permits are fine on the federal level and lets the carrier go from state to state. Other than that, it still shows the states to infringe on the rights. Well, and understand, and this is where a lot of people, I think, don't necessarily get what this bill is. This is not when you see National Reciprocity Act, it is not a National Concealed Carry Act. It says National Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act. And what it says is if you are licensed by your state and you have a permit to carry concealed carry in your state and you go to another state, but here's a kicker, that allows concealed carry, then they have to honor your license. You're a permit. Okay. This is not going to be a bill that says everyone has to have the same concealed carry laws. Everyone has to do the same thing. It's not saying that. And they're not, and the states aren't going to sit there and say, well, we're not going to allow concealed carry anymore because the HR38. No, it's just saying that if Texas didn't already honor South Carolina's permit, now they do. Now, when you go to South Carolina, you have to abide by the South Carolina concealed carry laws. You're not under your state laws. Wherever state you're in, you have to abide by those laws. So it's just making it easier to carry while traveling is really what it is.
Can I ask you a question now? I'm a little
Sure.
lost. I've asked it in a few chats now that had live live shows, and I was just on the chat side. I'm still confused. What happens if you live in a constitutional carry? What happens with that? I'm confused.
Okay.
About it.
From what I understand, and I'm not in a constitutional carry state, so I don't know, but I have talked to many people that are in constitutional carry states. And what basically happens is, I don't know, in New York, you have a driver's license, right? For some people that don't have a driver's license, or if you're in the city, you have no need to have a car. Some people don't have driver's license, but they can get an ID card. You have to have like ID cards in New York.
They have ID cards for like people who aren't able to get driver's licenses.
Right. All right. So you have just an ID. It's not a driver. It's just an ID card. It states your name, and all that stuff.
It doesn't.
From what I understand,
but in New York City, it's what they allow people to have if they're not allowed to have anything else.
And see, in Arkansas, it's the same thing. If you don't have a driver's license for whatever reason, you can get an ID card, and it's like $10 or $15, to get one. But it's a piece of identification. From what I understand from talking from people that are in constitutional carry states, it's not a permit, but it is what they call a carry card that they get issued by their state. That says, you don't have to take a test or anything. It's just a card that says you're a concealed carry. And I believe that that's probably what the constitutional carry states will do, is issue you a carry card. There's probably not going to be any tests for it. Now, getting back to permits and all that being a tax on our liberties, absolutely they are. They should be banned. I don't believe they should force us to take tests and pay fees for concealed carry. That being said, that's for a whole nother discussion. But from what I understand, John, talking with people that are in constitutional carry states, is either they already do or they probably will come out with some sort of a carry card, an ID card that says you're a concealed carry holder. So when you go into that state, the next state, you have a piece of identification that shows that you are a carrier.
Okay, and then you just continue to carry concealed in the state that you're visiting or whatever.
That's correct. That's correct. Yes. Now, once again, you have to abide by the concealed carry laws, the state that you're in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I was a little confused about that, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, I don't know 100%, but I have talked to several people that are in constitutional carry, and a couple of them said that their states already do offer it. And one guy said he didn't know if they did or not, but he never heard of it. But I would imagine that if this passes, then the state would sit there and say, we're going to issue for $10 for, whatever, a card that says we're constitutional carry and you're a carry, you carry. So at least you have an identification that you can show someone that shows, boom, there you go,
Okay.
Car carrier says it sucks the need to leave your own state to experience freedom. Yeah, that would probably suck. I actually live in Arkansas, and Arkansas gets a bad rep for a lot of things, but it's really a great little state, but it's extremely good for guns. So as far as the gun laws here, you can't get much better than Arkansas. So I'm real happy with where I am. Let's see here. Jared says he's going to go to New Hampshire with his gun, pretend to be free for a few hours. New Hampshire is pretty much, you can do whatever the hell you want up there, I'm pretty sure. I would love to go up there. Cycle Camp makes a good, he makes a point that says this will cause states to shut down concealed carry. I don't think so. I think that there could be some states that maybe try to push that, but I just don't see it. I think that I think that there would be way too much backlash if they try to stop concealed carry. I really do, especially if you're a shall issue state. If you're a shall issue, if you're constitutional carry, that's even harder to get through your state legislature than shall issue. Constitutional carry is very difficult for a state that's not constitutional carry. Here in Arkansas, it comes up almost every session and it gets voted down. If your state has already gone concealed carry, it's going to take, unless it's just a mass influx of liberals that have invaded your state legislature, I don't think that it's not that easy just to revoke concealed carry. If your state is a historically friendly gun place that allows concealed carry, it's probably not going to change. And I don't want people to start freaking out and getting scared about all these what ifs and all that. I don't think that. I think you guys are overthinking some of this and thinking the worst is going to happen. This bill, in the grand scheme of things, is not a game changer for the gun community. It just makes it easier for us. Now, the SHARE Act, now that's one thing we really got to worry about pushing. I'll say that. Let's see here. Scott Piccini, and maybe, John, this might be directed to you. He says, what happens when you're dealing with it, say, New York City, which does not even recognize the other New York permit to carry? John, do you have any ideas of what New York City would do if this becomes, is that something that...
God only knows. Because right now, no matter what permit you have, if it's not in New York, you're not allowed in or out with a firearm.
Of New York City?
City?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah. People in New Jersey can't come into New York with a firearm. People from Connecticut can't come into the city with a firearm. People from upstate New York cannot come into the city with a firearm.
Yeah, that was going to be my question, from upstate coming down.
Yeah. Nope,
Ooh.
if it's not a New York City permit, cannot be here, or you will get arrested.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can see, like Philo said before, they will continue to infringe on people's rights, and it's only going to get worse from there. I can see cities like New York City, Baltimore, Washington, Chicago doing those kind of things.
Yeah. Yeah, Chicago would probably be another one you'd have to kind of worry about.
They might get rid of the FOID card.
Yeah,
I don't think that's going to happen, though.
Yeah,
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them. They are Democrats, remember?
That's true. We can still carry. I know I do when I go to the city. The thing is they got their magazine one, magazine restrictions, and number two, they did the like if you live in Crook County, you can't have ammo delivered to any. Actually, none of the online places pretty much now will have ammo delivered to your door anymore. You got to be outside of the city limits now, or outside of the county.
Jim says also to consider HR38/4477, which 4477 is the fixed NICS thing, passes the House, and only the fixed NICS passes the Senate. Then off to conference, and the only thing that survives conference is fixed NICS. It's a real possibility. Probably. I'm not sitting there disagreeing with you just to disagree with you, Jim. And this might be something we just have to agree to disagree on. It all depends on how this passes through the House. If it passes as one, whether it's under HR38 or it's under 4477, if it passes as the National Reciprocity and Fixed NICS bill, whatever you want to call it, then it can't be split up to sit there and say, well, the House sent over this bill, but we're gonna vote this part of it down, and we're gonna just keep this part. It doesn't work that way. If it's leased from the House to the Senate, then they're not going to split those up. They're going to take the bill as it was presented to the Senate. The best case scenario for everyone is that hopefully tomorrow there is a way on the floor to separate them, and 38 gets voted in and fixed NICS goes down. But even if the fixed NICS goes to the Senate and HR38 goes to the Senate, it's not going to be one of those where we're going to leave this part of it out. But get this: what my thought suggestion is tonight. Email your congressman first thing in the morning. Email your congressman. Call your congressman's office. You're obviously probably not going to get a hold of the actual congressman, but talk to the staff member that's there answering the phone and say it is extremely urgent that you get this to the congressman before he votes on HR 38. If you can do anything to split the bills up, then vote yes for HR 38 and vote no for the fixed NICS or 4477, whatever you want to call it. If they have to be combined, then at that point you tell them exactly what you want, either yes or no, and that's a personal decision. That's going to be the issue. Is if you can separate them and you can get HR 38 passed and vote down 4477, then that's fine. The only thing at that point that could happen is the Senate side, where the Share Act is at, they're probably going to bring up their version of the fixed NICS to try to attach the share. Because at that point, they'll know that as a separate bill, even if it passes the Senate and has to go back to the House, then it won't pass on its own. So they're going to try to attach fixed NICS onto something that they're pretty sure is going to get passed. So if we can try to get them separated, that's going to be the best avenue of defense. If we can't, then at that point, we're going to have to make a decision on how bad do we want pro-gun legislation versus the fixed NICS. That's a personal thought. That's your own thought, and you're going to have to tell your congressmen and your senators what you personally feel. But I will say this: if you do not contact your congressmen or senators and let them know how you feel, then I don't want to hear you complaining about what happens with these votes, because you had the opportunity to at least voice your opinion to your elected officials. That's me personally. That's my soapbox for the day.
I have to agree, though. I mean, that quick little email. I mean, just at least voice your opinion. That's the biggest thing. Just let them know. It might bother them, but, I mean, at least they know where you stand. And the more they get, the more we, can voice our, have our voices heard one way or the other. At least they know, we're looking for pro-gun legislation.
Yeah, bullseye shooting. We're going to go back real quick to the whole light on the gun, home defense. He brings up a point. Lights are the worst thing to have, especially in home invasion. So let's say somebody came in your house and you had a light on the gun and you shot them and they didn't have a gun. This becomes a very tricky situation. However, if it was the other way around and you had no lights on your gun and somebody was in your house and you shot them, you could say that you thought you saw them with a gun. And that is true. When you're talking about deadly force, there has to be an imminent threat on you, your family, or someone in the vicinity. But understand this: if you're talking about out in public on the street or at the store, that's going to be very much the case. Was there an actual imminent threat for you to use deadly force? In a home invasion, I agree with you, Bullseye. I agree with you 100%, so I'm not arguing with that. But all I'm going to talk about is in home invasion, the act of imminent threat is not going to be as easily to prove for a prosecuting attorney. And chances are they're going to sit there and give the homeowner the benefit of the doubt for one reason and one reason only. They have already broken the law by entering your house. And you have the right, and most states have the castle doctrine and all that. But in most states, they're going to assume that if someone was already a criminal by entering your house, they're already presenting an imminent threat to you or your family. So that being said, the imminent threat thing is a sticky situation, but most of the time, you're not going to see too many people prosecuted for manslaughter or murder if they're defending their home, whether they could prove that assailant had a gun or not. They've already broken the law. They're already criminals. So
in New York City, you have the right to have a hissy fit if someone is stabbing you.
Tell them stop.
We gotta get you. We gotta get you out of New York. I'm just saying, brother. We've got to get you out of New York.
All right, go check out my GoFundMe. Save John Z.
That's right.
Save the John Z project. Let's save John.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm in hell out here, but it's not that bad. Wow, no, seriously, I sometimes think about it and I'm like, okay, it's bad, but wow, not that bad.
New York, seriously, you have the right to defend yourself without weapons.
Yeah.
So you could have a hissy fit with somebody, or you can pee on them, but that's about it. and I doubt too many people in the course of the event taking place, you would have time to think to whip it out. But whatever.
Why is there a urinal all the place? I was defending my home.
Marking my territory.
I'm marking my territory. That's just how they do it here in New York.
This is my safe spot, Your Honor.
He invaded my area. He crossed that line of piss.
He didn't have a safety pin on him. I gave him a safety pin.
Slapped him. Yeah, right.
I took the safety off and let him have it.
Yeah.
Piccini says that he's pretty sure the Supreme Court has already spoken on the issue that either they have to either allow concealed carry or open carry. Basically, what Washington, D.C. versus Heller basically did was it separated the right to carry and bear arms and made it to where it's not just for a militia. Okay, so it basically said that it's used for self-defense and home defense is a reason for the Second Amendment to withstand what it says. So it's not just for a militia. So DC versus Heller was very instrumental in the concealed carry realm, because it basically came back and said that self-defense, home defense are legitimate reasons to own and bear arms. So yes, they're basically saying that concealed carry and all that. That being said, I'm not going to speak out of turn here, because I'm not one of those guys that's going to try to make shit up on the fly. So if I don't know something, I do not know of any specific legislation that the Supreme Court has handed down on decisions that said that every state must allow concealed carry. If there is, then that's awesome. I don't know of any, but I'm not saying there's not. I'm saying that I don't know of any that specifically said all states must allow open or concealed carry. I don't know of that. Do you guys know of any of that?
No clue.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. And what does Cycle say? That didn't work in Petruda.
NYC also does not recognize let's see here. Illinois does not recognize Indiana's permits. Exactly. With HR38, you're not going to have to worry about recognizing any more permits.
And that's one of the things here. Illinois doesn't recognize anybody's permits, period.
And
like South Carolina's pretty bad too. They don't recognize hardly anybody, if anybody's also.
Yeah, I mean, and we're kind of lucky, because since we have to do this 2-day, all this, 8 hours of, of all the castle doctrine and everything and book stuff, and half of the second day. So, I mean, mine is good in like 27 something other states, and then I got the Florida to add. Right. But if you're the opposite, I mean, just driving through here, and driving through Chicago to, Michigan to go through Chicago to get to Wisconsin could lead you into some big trouble.
Yeah, I agree with Jared Walsh. Like, New Hampshire has some great laws.
Oh yeah,
Vermont.
Absolutely.
The problem is
it's New Hampshire.
The problem is you're surrounded by all those other states.
Yeah, New Hampshire is like really in a weird situation. Yeah.
You're surrounded by
Jim out there says the Senate already has their own bill. That's why I could go to conference. They do have their own bill, but the great thing about checks and balances is this. If the House passes a bill, it then goes to the Senate for them to vote on. If the Senate introduces a bill and it passes the Senate, it doesn't automatically go to the president. What does it have to do? It has to go to the House at that point. So you're still getting, just because it's in the Senate doesn't mean if they pass it, automatically goes to the president. Both houses have to approve this. So there's a good balance of checks and balances and all that. So, like I said, I'm not saying that you're wrong by any means, Jim. I'm saying that I'm not as worried about it as others, and maybe I'm just wrong, and maybe I'm being let the wool being pulled over my eyes. And I'm not saying that you're wrong or anything. I'm all for. That's the great thing about this is we don't have to agree, and that's the great thing about this is I can call my congressman and tell him how I want him to be voted. And you can call your congressman or senator and tell them how you want to be voted. And that's the beautiful thing about, a republic that we are, is we have elected officials that represent us. And we don't have to have a gun community or a two-way community wide statement. There are different ideas within the Second Amendment community that, some people are looking for specific things and some people aren't. I know that G-Webs and I are very much two-way advocates and activists, but we don't agree on everything. We agree, we disagree on a lot of things. I think that, I'll disagree with a lot of people because I'm looking for something specific, or I'm looking at this being a bigger picture instead of a small, minute thing. And to some other people, that small, minute thing is the big picture. So there's no right or wrong as far as how you feel. As long as you let your feelings known to your representatives, that's all that matters to me. Speak your mind to your representatives, and however you feel is how you feel. I'm not here to change anybody's mind whatsoever. I'm going to tell you how I feel, and if you feel something differently, I'm okay with that, bro. It's that's what America's all about. It's what makes this a beautiful country. Cycle Kids, the Senate just has to send what they pass back to the House. What? Did I just say that, or is he okay? I'm a little behind on the chat, so
yeah, I have to scroll up.
Yeah. Let's see. Phoenix says, I seem to recall agreeing on G-Web's vampire collection. I'm not. That was a pretty good collection. I'm not gonna lie. You talk about vampire lesbians. I'm all in on that.
I was gonna say,
what's wrong with this picture? I've said this in a lot of times before, but I'm a self-proclaimed lesbian. I love women, so if that's what it is, then I'm all for lesbian vampires.
I
see you,
appreciate
you, bro.
Yeah, that gets me in trouble. That's why I have 5 kids. Damn it!
Right?
Hey, just
damn, it is already 12 after. I'll tell you what I want to do, guys. I wanted to bring up someone real. I'll let you finish there in just a second, John. What I want to do real quick is there's a guy's been out there a lot lately on a lot of different shows. Roosted, Roosted Films is a channel out there, and he's a really good dude. I'm trying to help him, and a lot of guys are trying to help him. He wants to take his channel to the next level, and I think he's got some really good content. I think that he's going to be an asset to the gun community, so we're trying to help him out. And he is, I hope he doesn't get mad at me doing this, but I'm going to go ahead and put his link out there to his channel. And Roosted's at 61 subscribers. I want to try to get him to 100, and here's why. And for some of you guys that don't quite understand some of the perks, at 100 subscribers, you're able to get your own custom URL for your YouTube page. Instead of having the 17 different letters and number combinations at your channel, you can get one that says Ghost Tactical or Grim 90 or the John Z Project. And for no other reason, having that custom URL in YouTube for your marketing and all of that is so much better to see. It looks look like a lot more professional channel when you're trying to attach those links to something in the mainstream media or whatever you're trying to send them on Facebook. Having that custom URL is so much better than having that 17-digit channel. So, hey, what's up, Hottie? Hey, no worries, brother. Not a problem. Gary is only 72 away. There you go. I think Roosted Films is at 66 right now. All right. So, all right. So DF2 dot is 67. Let's try to get Roosted to 100 because he is trying to work on trying to get that custom URL. And like I said, it doesn't seem like a lot, but that actually does help out a lot in your branding, is having your own custom URL. So if you can help him out, go over to Roosted Films channel. He actually has some really good stuff. So watch his videos and all that. Throw him a sub and let's help them get up there to 100. And any of these other guys out here that are working on getting their channels bigger, help them out as well, as much as you've helped me and Clover and everyone else out here. Help them out as much as you can, because at every little level is something nice perk for the content creator. So this is a good thing. So sorry, John, I interrupted you, but what were you going to say earlier?
I just wanted to mention a channel, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
It's called Guns and Gear, and he's the one that called it.
Absolutely.
His 10 or
I watch his stuff all the time.
Yeah, he was teaching his 10 or 11-year-old son to shoot indoors with a blue gun and with the air gun that looks exactly like the Glock with a functioning
That
slide.
was I'm going to
I can try to pull that up if you want.
I've got it right here. I just want to try to get the link here. I'm trying to find. Do you want me to post that video, or do you want me to?
I could do that if you want.
Yeah, if you want to, that video, and that'll also get to this channel. But that video is awesome. It really is. But anyways, I'm trying to see here.
Give me a second.
Yeah, go for it. I'm looking. I'm trying to keep up with this chat. I've been way behind on it today, but I finally caught up to it, I think. There's been the reason why is there's been so many good points that I wanted to keep my screen where it was so I didn't forget those points. And I knew that this conversation was going to take a couple different routes, and that's okay. Discussion is great because you might be able to change my mind on something. I might be able to change your mind on something. But even if our minds aren't changed, a discussion is always good because it also reinforces to ourselves what we are thinking is how we truly feel. If you can't talk me off of a point and I can't talk you off, that just shows me that I'm strong on how I feel and you're strong how you feel. And at that point, the next step is to voice your opinion to your elected officials. So, yeah, go check that out. That's an awesome video right there. It really is.
This is a specific video, and then they'll see the channel.
Yeah, exactly. But this is, this is a great one. But yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's still playing. My bad.
No, that was me. That was me. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, sorry. But my thing is, guys, is, I try to get to the Christmas wish list stuff, and I'm okay with it, not because we still got a couple weeks of Christmas, so we'll do that next week. We're going to talk about a wish list.
Oh, yeah.
We're also going to talk about next week. Also going to talk about for someone that's either thinking about getting into the gun community or already in, but is a real newbie, what's like the perfect gift to make them more excited or get them going even more into guns or the range or whatever. So be thinking about that for next week. It's not going to be like a top 5 or anything. It's just going to be ideas. Throw them away because there are people that we all know that if we get them the right gift, that might put them over the edge to come join the community, and that's always good. So there you go. Jared, you're my hype man. I love you, bro. Thank you very much. I know that hit or miss is going on. What's that? Go ahead.
What, 3'4"?
What?
You said you're 3'4".
What did you say?
You say the same height.
Oh.
Who's 3'4"?
Oh.
Ghost.
Yeah.
3'4". I'm at least 4'7". Damn it.
Okay, I apologize.
I am 5'8", 160 pounds. So, I'm just over the threshold of being a legal. I don't want to call it midget, but small person. So
I was 160 pounds when I was born.
Oh, it's the New York thing.
They got good food in New York, I'll tell you.
Yes, too much food, unfortunately. Good, but a lot of it.
And John brings up a good point out there about subbing. Guys, Jim, hey, go sub. I want to say this. Hey, home runner. Man, you just joined at the right time. We're getting ready to sign off. But I will say this. Most of you guys are awesomely loyal to my show and to all the other shows, and I can't express my appreciation as much as the guys also, the other shows. We are all one community, and we're all friends. We see each other every night at different chats. Go support everybody's channel. Even if that person only has 1 sub, I'll say this is if you can get someone who doesn't even have any content, but they can get 10 or 12 subs, what does that do? That might give them saying, well, there's 12 people that sub my channel. I don't even have any content. What could happen if I actually open up my camera one time? Don't be afraid to turn your camera on. And what you think might be a horrible video with a shitty camera on a shitty topic, you never know who's out there is looking for that. And being a content creator, I've only been doing this for 6 months, and it's been as enjoyable of a 6 months as my life has ever seen. I've loved doing this. I've loved getting to know all these awesome people that I have. What's up, Clover? Call Your Gun Girls. What's going on? Dad in the house. Right on. Hey, guys, go check out the Call Your Gun Girls the channel. These girls are amazing. And but just talking about content creators again is never be afraid to open up that camera and shoot something, whether it's gun related or not. Don't be afraid to shoot something because you don't think if people are going to like it or not. When I did my very first video, there is no way that I thought that in 6 months or less I would be over 600 subs. And in the grand scheme of things, that's not a big amount. But for a guy who turned on a camera to shoot a video for some buddies that wanted to know how to get into competitive shooting, that's all I did is I shoot IDPA. They wanted to know what's kind of gear that you need to get to start out IDPA. I opened up my cell phone, shot it at the range in like 5 minutes. And 6 months later, which my 6 month mark is Friday. This coming Friday will be 6 months to the day that I uploaded my very first video. And it has been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. So get your cameras out and shoot something, whether it's gun related or not. You know, shoot something for Christmas and put it on YouTube. You never know what's going to happen. Go to your gun range, shoot it. Go to your gun shop and just kind of film it and all that. Clovertac says he ain't shy. He'll take credit for all my success. Clovertac, you are a big part of this success because you were one of the very first people that, for whatever reason, saw something in the content that I put out and enjoyed it and gave me praise and gave me confidence. If nothing else, you gave me the confidence to think that my stuff had potential. So I will say that you are a very big part of any quote-unquote success that I have had. And I thank you, brother, because you were definitely a calming voice when I wasn't sure if I was going to stay in this or not. So thank you very much. You say you work hard and hard work pays off. I do work hard. But like I said, you are a big part because if nothing else, you gave me the confidence that some of my stuff was actually decent stuff. So thank you for that, bro. But guys, yeah, go support all these guys. Go support everyone that's on this channel. You know, like I said, just because you don't have any subs or any content doesn't mean that later down the line that you're not going to produce content. If you're willing to produce content, you don't have to have a fancy get up. Get your cell phone out. Most cell phones actually shoot better quality than a lot of these cameras, their freestanding cameras do. So have fun with it and just talk. If I can give you one piece of advice, do not script anything. If you want to have some bullet points written down about the ideas that you want to get through, great. Don't script anything. Just talk to the camera. Just act like you're talking to your best friend across the table. And I can tell you this, if someone thinks that you are reading a script and quote-unquote acting, you'll never get very far. They want to see the real you. They want to see your real personality. And that's all you can do is be yourself in front of a camera. Even if you're nervous, the only way you're going to get better is with experience. So, I'll say that. Before we get out of here, I want to let John and Grim say any last remarks. So, guys, Grim, what you got?
Well, I want to throw one out there for Jared Walsh. If we can get him to 100, easier to go live. I know he tried to go live over the weekend. Yeah. We had to cut off a couple times, but he finally got it going, I guess, when we were on there. So, but that'd be good. Like you said, those little perks. And I know I tell you guys sometimes too, don't worry about that quality. Just go unscripted, go get going, get that nervousness out of the way. You know, we're going to bust your balls either way, whether it's good or not. So
absolutely. Absolutely. And that's part of it, because I'll put it this way. And if we're busting your balls, we have to actually see it before we bust them.
That's right.
So you're going to get a view regardless. So it's only going to help. Grim, I've said this a lot to you, and I do appreciate everything you do, and it's been great getting to know you the last few months. And a lot of people think I'm joking, but I if you ever got the time, I think there is I would love to have you on as regularly as you can. You bring a lot of great insight. I know with the kids and all that, it's sometimes difficult. So anytime you're able to jump in, please feel like you can jump in anytime.
Yeah, you know what? Now that it's winter time and it's dark at 4:30, it's a lot easier.
That's
so
right.
yeah, maybe we can get something going and get another day of the week going. If not,
absolutely.
The more views, the more content you can throw out there. I don't mind helping out or whatever I got to do.
Put on your channel for all I just enjoy talking with you. So I mean, we could use your channel and let you get some content and some views out there.
Yeah,
I'm all for it too.
Help grow these other guys. That's the big thing. That's like my part. I've tried to do videos, and it's always like, what, if I can help you guys out, whether it's posting the links now that some of you have made me mods and just getting it out there. I just can't believe it's been 6 months.
It's been 6 months. Yeah. 6 months Friday is when I posted my very first video. Wow. And it's gone by so fast. It was like, wow. And the funny thing is, I was looking at that video, and it was literally shot with my cell phone at the range. I just got done practicing and all of that. Let's see here. Oh no, I haven't. All right, so yeah, Budget Guns and Gear. I want to say this. Thanks you, Clover. Budget. He sent me an email. He's probably sent a bunch of guys emails. He's going to try to do his very first live Friday night, and it's going to be it's going to be an awesome show. So Budget Guns, and let me get the link to his channel real quick. All right. While I'm doing this, John, do you have anything that you want to say before we get out of here?
Thanks for the invite. Go check out GunChannels.com and go ahead and support as many channels here as you can, even though some channels may not do as many gun videos. Just support them. If they're not doing a lot of videos, like I'm not doing videos often, they may not be on subjects you care about, but still at least support, just join the channel and just let's support each other, and it'll help increase the channel's awareness.
Absolutely.
You know what? One last thing also. I don't mean to interrupt. You guys all out there too. Make sure you guys share, even if if we can get one person off of Facebook or wherever you share it to, share the link. I've done that for Midnight, and luckily, we've gotten a bunch of my wife's friends. She sent links to. She's usually in the back laughing at our, laughing her ass off at us. But make sure you try and share it out. Not just among ourselves, but Instagram or whatever. Just try and get whoever we can get in here and try and convert them.
Yeah, whatever access I have to be able to share. I don't use Twitter a lot, but I'll share it on Twitter and I'll share it on Google Plus.
Yeah.
And whenever I have access to a machine that has a link for me to share it to on Instagram, I'll try to share whenever I can through whatever media form I can.
I want to give a shout out to a lurker out there, Screaming School Saloons. He just says he's lurking. So welcome to the show. We're getting ready to get off here in a couple minutes. Go check out Hit or Miss. It's been going on for a little bit now. We're on the YouTube side. It's Night Strike 1 is the channel. If you're on the Gun Channel side, it's Hit or Miss is the channel that you guys know where it is over there. But go check out Hit or Miss with Night Strike, and Smeggy and Travis P11 is over there. All that good stuff. I want to thank what are we talking about? VidMe. That's
Collier Gun Girls had mentioned.
Okay, VidMe shutting down in about a week. You can't post anything new to it. It's shutting down. So I was going to try to get in talking to new social media, and I'll just say them real quick. I have already gotten on ViralHerd.com. I am going to be getting on steamit.com, and there is another one called weaponsfeed.com, and it's a pro-gun social media platform as well. I want to look to diverse a lot with different things and all of that, but VidMe is shutting down. Call your gun girl's dad. So be you're fine, man. You're fine. Oh, okay. He's making a joke. I got you. It's gonna be. I didn't even see the thing. So, hey,
Yeah.
Preeti, the Screaming Skull Saloon. Good job. Like I said, I'm kind of behind on the chat right now. I'm trying to read everything, and it's going kind of fast for me. So I'm just a dumb Marine that can't read very good. So it's all good. But I want to thank you guys. Thank you for everyone that showed up. We had a really big house earlier. I think we were close to around 50 some odd people at one point. So thanks for coming in and watching the show. If you're not watching it live, you're watching the review. Thank you very much for coming in. If you like it, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Subscribe if you guys are in this chat. Subscribe to everybody and help the whole community out. Help the gun community grow. We get a lot of hard knocks on social media, so when we get a chance to help each other out, let's do it. Make sure you contact your congressmen and senators for HR38 and the SHARE Act. Anytime we can get pro-gun legislation passed through, it's a big deal. But tomorrow is the vote in the House for HR38, which is a national reciprocity bill. If you want to, you can go on to C-SPAN or the House Representatives has their own live feed. I think it's houselive.com or something, or .gov or something like that. But go on there, watch it, understand it. If you've never watched a bill hit the floor in the debate and all of that, it's pretty awesome to watch government at work. So go ahead and check that out. But email and call your congressman tonight and in the morning. Let's make sure they know how you want the elected officials to vote in your representation. So, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me, Grim. John, as always, my friends, it's great having you. Thank you to everyone out there who is watching either live or in the future. I truly do appreciate it. And we will see you next week on Tactical Tuesday. Semper Fi.